Hello and welcome to another general message manifesting video. I don't know exactly what it's going to be about. You'll see in the title, but always casual, always me. Let's start with my oracle cards that I have, made in the past, and I just want to go through really fast to see what's popping up. Usually with these oracle cards, they give me some good direction to go off of, so we're going to go off of this one. Okay, and I'll probably use the deck again. I'm also going to use the Rider-Waite deck, the original version. And then, yeah, I think that's the only kind of two decks, Rider-Waite, and then my Oracle. So let's begin. If I do add more, I'll let you know. Since on my desk, you can't see it, this is a side note, but in my drawers, I have a bunch of tarot and oracle decks. If you ever want a video on that, let me know. I'll probably make one, but I have so many and I love them all. I love them all. That's the thing is, like, I don't know if any of you have a lot of decks, but it's literally like, it's so hard for me not to have my entire couch just filled with tarot decks. You know what I mean? My entire bed just filled with that quantity of decks is like kind of like minimum for me. Like I would have an entire closet dedicated for tarot and oracle decks if I could, which I probably will manifest, I'll get to that point, but like how people have like a shoe closet or whatever, or a walk-in closet, I'm going to have a tarot and oracle closet, you know what I mean? So it'll be amazing. Or I should say like a divination tool closet. Like how cool would that be to just open the door and you have some like cool lights or whatever, some cool decor that hits home for you and you see like all your divination tools. That for me is like walking into Willy Wonka's like chocolate factory or whatever, candy factory. That like rush of, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what it would be for me. Anyway, so that is just a little side note. But yeah, so I let go of past, present, and future worry. Absolutely. So we're going to start with this. So what I really want to emphasize in this video is I have a great way of uncovering different blocks within your mentality. I believe as a person, and in my own experience, when I work on these different blocks, and usually they're about beliefs, right? So these different beliefs are really the blockages with the manifestations, because one thing about these like beliefs and them blocking the manifestation is the action part. When you worry about the past, present, and future, that's getting your attention from working on your manifestation to the details that are like around it, right? So it's like you're on your path and you're walking, and then all of a sudden you see like maybe a bunny or like you see a deer, something that would catch your attention. The worries in retrospect of it is the bunny or the deer. So you're walking and then you're like, oh, I want to go see that bunny. And then you're like, oh, I want to go see that deer, right? And so you get off your path and you start to follow the worry. Sometimes when it comes to worries, now I don't know about all times, but in my experience, and just as a human being who has been manifesting her dream life into fruition for a couple years now, I've experienced the halts that worries have for you, and I've experienced the how would I say it? It's like the actual push that kind of you give to yourself when you're able to release them. Releasing worries is a very, very hard thing to do, okay? Especially if you are perfectionistic, especially if you have a tendency to want everything to be exactly how you want it to be, or it's like the things that come and it's not how you want it to be make you feel kind of worse off, or it's like you're getting frustrated. And it's like those times as well steer you off of your path. So it's all about, at the end of the day, especially when it comes to worry, to really concentrate on getting your attention back towards what's in the moment. And I know it says past, present, and future, but really the way to allow yourself to, like, especially when it comes to catching yourself worrying, the best way to really allow yourself to like not worry is to be able to find some way to say, okay, I'm worrying about this, but let's make a list. For instance, let's write out what I am worrying about, right? Instead of saying I'm worried and you brush it under the rug and you move on with your stuff. The worries sometimes, I feel like, also are signals from your inner self that tell you exactly like the situations that you need to work on, or the aspects of you that you need to work on. I would say another thing about worry that's coming to me is trusting yourself. When it comes to worry, more so than anything, it's just like the fear of the unknown, and you're not wanting to let the past repeat in those times of like, it did not feel good. You experienced a lot of not so good feelings. Really looking at like the past as it's going to be the present and it's going to be the future. And it's all about, with that worry, it's like a cyclical thing. It's like a very circle thing. And it just allows you to keep that constant chipmunk wheel turning. And when you let go of the worry, you get off the wheel, right? You get off that perception that the past and the present and the future are going to be the same. And you get to a place where you're in the present, which is the best place to find control for yourself. Yeah, the best place to find control. Also, I'm sorry, I have a notification. Okay. Like I said, casual. So hopefully it's cash. My shirt says, today is a good day to have a good day. Yeah, so let's go in on a little bit more detail about letting go of your worry, because it is a very nice thing to have in your toolkit when it comes to the unexpected changes that maybe are the roots of the worries. King of Cups, very much so You're very much so strong in controlling your emotions. You're very much so, not saying you do this term, but masking comes to mind. And I see it a lot in a lot of people in my life. I do it a lot. Like, I masked my entire childhood due to a lot of abuse and my teenagehood. I'm 26 now, and I've been disassociating for years. So I'm myself and very strong in masking. And I have to remind myself that expressing myself is also allowing my emotions to be vulnerable and show. And I can, like, when I'm angry, I can be angry, and it's good for me to be angry. It's also good for me to release in a way of healthy wise with the anger, right? Being able to allow all that steam to be let out and then come back down to a very, level ground. When I'm angry, I kind of go for a walk, or I really exert my body in some physical way. That's what I do with anger. And it helps a lot because I don't feel so guilty when I'm angry. You know what I mean? That's the thing, is like, feeling guilty about feeling a certain way, it just is kind of like, to me, it's kind of not saying it's unnecessary, because you feel guilty for a certain reason, and that's honorable as fuck. Like, I honor that. Feeling guilty doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that some kind of belief that you have is guiding you to feel that way. And so, all in all, right? All in all, when it comes to back to the worry and everything, when it comes back down to it, what I see for you is that really releasing your energy in times. We got the moon. Yes. Have you ever tried shadow work? And when I say I mean this with a very delicate it's shadow work is not for the faint of heart. You will uncover details about things that probably are the root of these worries that is causing the halts in the actual action of manifestation. I just came up, there was a word, inspiration, aspiration. So I just made a video on it too, if you want to go watch it. But this whole idea of inspiration and aspiration with manifestation is very important to also realize. When you don't allow yourself to do even just the tiniest action steps towards your manifestation, that's the halt. But I'm getting that with the worry, it's coming in tune with even maybe how you control your emotions with your worry. Maybe it's in tune of you controlling how much you actually are vulnerable about that worry to yourself more than anyone else. And let me just say, me too, okay? I haven't done shadow work in a quick minute. Okay, we're gonna be honest. It's been months. It's been probably half a year since I've done shadow work, and I do tend to need that kind of refreshing course. And I'm just starting my shadow work again. But I am finding that the manifestations that haven't happened for me, I'm finding are actually happening a lot more, because the worries that I've had with mine for the past, present, and future, they're easily laid to rest, and they're easily able to transform into no longer is it a worry, but now it's an action, right? So yes, for instance, I'll give you an example of how I would do this for the worry, right? How I would let go, right? So if you want to take this example and use it in your life, by all means do, or if you want to listen, whatever. But basically, how I would let go of worry, right? So I'm manifesting, I'm like coming up with my ideas, I'm inspiring, I got my vision board and everything. And then I get to the point where I have to do the action. And I start to worry about all the different things that could happen, or that have happened, or that are happening. And I'm worrying about, am I doing it right? Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? And I'm constantly doubting myself as I worry. And as I do this, I'm like, literally, I avoid it. I avoid doing my manifestations. Like, I avoid the action, the aspiration of my manifestations, because I'm wrapping myself up in this cloak of this, like, it's not saying it's a waste, but all I'm saying is that I could use, instead of wrapping myself in the cloak of worry, I could use wrapping myself in the cloak of compassion, right? I could, instead of feeling guilty that I'm worrying all the time about this, I could feel like, for one, I suppose I could feel grateful that I am thinking about these details, because I'm caring so much about it working out, right? So I'm realizing I'm with all these worries. So then what I would do is make maybe a short list, nothing too extreme, just short, maybe words here and there of what's popping up to me as I think about, all right, so what am I worrying about? And so as I take a step back and I write down my worries, I'm able to see on some like physical form. So it's not just in my mind, because if you allow your worries to just be in your mind, they will absolutely create a garden, but guaranteed that garden is probably not going to help you out when it comes to it, because worry, I don't want to be like a super strong about this, but worry is wasting your time, energy, and effort from actually having that manifestation happen. So allowing yourself to find some way, get the worry out in some way, release it in some way, it will help you in the small steps that you need to getting to that manifestation. And I don't know. Yeah, that's what I want to say right now. We have the 8 of Cups as well. Walking away. You're walking away in terms of what you've already built, in terms especially of emotions, okay? In terms of your emotions. I would like you to ask yourself this. Do I think all my emotions are the same? Do I put some emotions on different pedestals? Do I think all my emotions are the same? Ask yourself that, repeat it. If you have cards yourself, ask them. Go deep within. Do the shadow work of finding out why you're walking away from the things that you have already built within you when it comes to your emotions. Why are you still searching when it comes to finding, because really this person's searching for that cup right there. It's like missing. And they're trying so hard. They're even searching at night, like they are desperate. But sometimes when we're so desperate for searching for like the answer, we're searching for that feeling of the cup, because maybe you're like feeling you're doing all the work, but somehow you keep thinking that it's not right. Somehow you keep thinking that you have to do more and more and more, like action-wise also. But maybe instead of doing the action, you have to sit and you have to let your inspiration come back. It could be the other way. It can be so much of a flip-flop. It's really about how like you know your own story the best. But this is how I see it, where it's just this like aspiration, inspiration, inspiration, aspiration, right? So it's balance. But sometimes when we do so much action in the aspiration, we get to a point where we're like over analyzing and we're like over detailing it, when it might be so simple as just getting our inspiration back up. And really, like, maybe the worries could be different. I don't know. It could also like help you like figuring out the worries, right? Figuring out the true meanings of why you're worrying, the root cause of it, could also help you strengthen more of the methods of manifestations for you. It could help unveil what works more for you as an individual human being. You, my beautiful snowflake of a friend. And when I say snowflake of a friend, I mean a beautiful individual person who has their own unique qualities, own unique traits. But truly, truly what I'm getting is that it's all about balance for you at this point. You've come a long way in either the inspiration or the aspiration, but with the worries, you need to let them go. You need to tamper them down. You need to find some way to release them into the unknown and kind of just bring yourself back to that place of like, what exactly, right? What exactly the ideas where you're like nonchalant ideas, right? Come up to you and you're like, that's a cool idea. But do you worry about all the details before you even start on the idea? Me. Me. I will give you this, okay? Before I started making all these tarot videos, I always had the dream that my YouTube and all my social media, well, I won't go into my dream because it's not like ultimately where I want it to be, right? But what I am trying to say is that I worried a lot about me making content, and I worried about a lot of the kind of like making it look really good. And me worrying about that I allowed myself to not make anything because I was like, I'm not ready. Or I was like, it's not right. Or I was like, I just am not in the right kind of mindset as I want to be, or like whatever. But I'm realizing as I continue to make these tarot videos and oracle videos and different videos, it's more so about the process of getting to know like that kind of routine, if you will, because that's what I'm trying to manifest, is the routine in general of me making videos and me doing this. So really I see also getting used to the form of you as a person doing your manifestations when they're like a reality. And I don't know if that makes so much sense, but it's like, and I'm also getting like really just tired. So I might end it. Yeah. But yeah, I hope, yeah, I'm sorry guys. I kind of just, I'm very tired. Lord have mercy. I am, it's one of those days, you know, c'est la vie. It's one of those days. But that's what I got, is that I know this is like more of a casual video, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I hope that helped. I'm also like going in and out. Thank you so much for joining me today in this wonderful video. I will see you next time. I'm absolutely going to take a nap after this, or maybe do some yoga. I don't know. Holy moly. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.